The broadcast and receive blocks in Scratch are used for behind-the-scenes communication. They can help you to make your code neater and easier to read and easier to understand. In this case, we're going to use broadcast and receive to tell a knock-knock joke. I'm going to start with my first sprite. So Cassie is the sprite that I have activated here, and I'm going to have the script start on the green flag. And I'm going to have her start telling a knock-knock joke. So I'm going to go to looks, and I'm going to have her say, knock, knock. Okay. So in addition to saying that, I'm going to have her send out a broadcast that the other sprite is going to receive. So I'm going to, after she says knock, knock, she is going to broadcast. There we go. I want to change that from message one. I want to make that a new message, a little more specific to what we're doing here. So I'm going to name it knock, knock. Okay. And so she says knock, knock. She sends out a broadcast called knock, knock. Now I'm going to have my second sprite here receive that broadcast. So I'm going to have her, when I receive knock, knock, she's going to respond verbally. So when she receives knock, knock, she is going to say, who's there? Okay, let's test that out real quick. All right, it is working so far. So now I want to have my sprites continue the conversation. So I'm going to have this sprite send a broadcast back to my first sprite. So we're going to broadcast. Instead of it this time, instead of knock knock, we're going to make a new message, which I've already created. It's called who's there. You would normally just type that in. So we're going to broadcast who's there so they can continue the conversation. So now I'm going to flip back to my first sprite, and I'm going to have her, when I receive who's there, she's going to say the next line of the joke. So I'm going to have her say, the next line of the joke, and then I'm going to have to send another broadcast back to my second sprite to keep going with the conversation. So I'm going to broadcast new message. Okay. And then I'm going to come back here when I receive broken pencil. I'm going to say broken pencil who. All right. We, of course, have to put another broadcast to go back to the first sprite. So we're going to broadcast. I'll just keep that one simple and call it who. And then back to my first sprite when I receive who. We're going to say the punchline. Now let's check that out and see how it works. I went ahead and added a little happy dance to the code here. So when she tells the punchline of the joke, she does a little bit of a dance. So just a little bit of fun there. One thing for you to keep in mind is that both sprites and your stage, your backdrops can send and receive broadcasts. So that might help you out with your code as well as multiple sprites can receive the same broadcast at the same time. Have fun telling your joke.